Yo! So I wanted to show this rig generation tool, the skeletal rig generation tool I just created. This is still in beta version. I have a lot of code in here, but it's mostly meant to rig characters that are made for like this Ziva system. Let's hide the muscles. Just for a second, I'm gonna show you I have all of the muscles for him, right? All of the tissues and all of the bones. This is what the tissues look like. They are on top of bones, and I also have fatty tissue on top of the bones, and on top of the fat is skin, and on top of the skin is actually the main mesh that will be driven by all of these physics deformations. But we will only need the bones for now, because I'm going to show you how to rig the bones first. So yeah, this rigging tool, I call it a Rad Rigger because this character is called Rad Ricky. First, it's meant to rig skeletal rigs, right? So first you generate arm locators like this. They're put here. I'm gonna hide the Ziva solver first. Arm locators, I'm gonna take them up here. Let's see them. First you do the right arm, show the right locator, make sure that projection to the center is checked on, right about here. This is the elbow locator, which would go about here, about the end of the humerus bone, and the wrist locator, which usually is at the start of the wrist bones, end of the radius ulna, about here. Next thing you do is you mirror the arm locators. Right now they went to the other side too. Now you create the arm joints, left arm joints, right arm joints. Joints are created, properly aligned, etc. You can create the radius locators, and also let's create the ulna locators. They should be placed fairly at the right position. Not always, but you know, radius upper parent means it goes to the upper side of the radius, to the top of the radius. Radius is the one that radiates around the ulna. Ulna upper parent goes to the top of ulna. Let's say about here. Ulna lower parent goes to the bottom of the ulna. And ulna and radius lower parent, again, fairly right location, goes here. What can you do now? Just don't. These buttons are not finished. This is a tool that only I know how to use right now, but now you can mirror the radius locators, mirror the ulnar locators. Now you can create the left radius rig, create the right radius rig, create the left ulnar rig, create the right ulnar rig. You can create the what can you do? You can create the controllers, right controllers, and you can finally group these controllers to the right positions. Now what you should have when you skin these, let's skin this. It uses a really basic skinning system so that the whole bone is select the joints, only the selected joints. So the whole bone is actually driven by this one joint. I can show you paint skin weights. Yeah, look, one bone is driven by, well, one bone. This joint is found here, this joint here, by the skin, right? And you can, the wrist joint can be bound to this skin by skin. And now we have this accurate movement of the radius and ulna, almost accurate. Needs some fixes, needs some adjustments, but you know, radius usually radiates around the ulna, so it usually works. Same with the, we also have the this here, we also have this, right? What we can do next, we can create the scapula and clavicle locators. They're placed down here. Let's bring them up. Let's see, clavicle starting point here. Yep, the clavicle end point is about here. Scapula side, I usually place it around here. Scapula bottom, around here. Create the clavicle scapula rig. Connect to the arm. I think I also have the mirroring. You can also mirror it. Right now it doesn't matter. Now you can also, this is the clavicle helper controller. Skin this, bind the skin here, and this clavicle upper joint gets bound to the clavicle scapula. And now I can actually hide this because these are just driven controllers. See, now we have a fairly accurate scapular clavicle movement. Don't have to hide them. We can this scapula move. Yeah, scapula. Yeah. So I also wanted to show you what we can do with the Ziva rigs. Let's select the muscles. I have all of the muscles, but I only select the pecs and the deltoid, and these I can also hide. I don't need these. So now I'm going to show you, we have this muscle here as a Ziva tissue that is connected to Ziva bones. These are Ziva bones. Right. And this deltoid also has these connection points here. So when we run this, you can see how this muscle deforms. Right. If we create an animation, for example, let's say, let's create, nope, let's create a keyframe at -10, so it stays like this for 10 frames. Another keyframe. Now let's go to +10. Let's move this up, like, let's say 45 degrees. Boom. stays like that for 10 frames and goes back to the 0. Cool. And let's see what happens. Look at that. Of course, these simulations can be driven any way, and the muscles can be also made way better using all of these, tissues over things, based on real life. Right now this is just a quick demo what you can do. You can also go to Ziva and let's add a muscle fiber. Let's see what happens. Let's also add a muscle fiber here, and we can make this into actually a sliding material. No, see attachments. Let's see which one this is. Let's make the one that is connected to the let's see. Yeah, okay. The attachment. Let's make the one that is connected to the clavicle a sliding one. Let's see what happens. Slightly better. Hard to tell. Yeah, you can do all of these settings, for all of the muscles, for all of the system, and then you can, of course, absolutely use this simulation for the Ziva RT real-time AI that I showed in the previous video. So if you have any questions, always you can message me, write on comments if you want the full Ziva guide on how to sculpt anatomy and stuff, Yeah, cool.